Nostradamus was a guy who lived in France about 500 years ago. He wrote a book that has a bunch of short poems, called quatrains, that some people think predict the future. These poems are pretty hard to understand and can be interpreted in many ways. Over the years, people have tried to link them to big events that have happened, but it's all a bit controversial. Here are some famous things people think Nostradamus might have predicted. The Great Fire of London, 1666. People say he predicted a big fire in London. His words are thought to describe the fire that happened in 1666. The French Revolution, 1789–1799. Some believe he talked about the French Revolution, where the common people rose up against the rich and the monarchy. Rise of Hitler. There's a poem that people think hints at Hitler rising to power in Germany. The word Hister is often cited as a sort of code for Hitler. Napoleon. Some believe Nostradamus predicted Napoleon, a French ruler who tried to conquer a lot of Europe. The atomic bomb. People have said that Nostradamus predicted the invention and use of atomic bombs in the 20th century. 9/11 attacks. Some say that he predicted the terrorist attacks on the US in 2001. The poems talk about fire from the sky and two great rocks, which people think could mean the Twin Towers. Moon landing, 1969. There's a part where he talks about people walking on the moon. This is sometimes linked to the moon landing in 1969. World War I. Nostradamus mentions a big war and fire and plague. Some think this could be World War I, especially since it was followed by the Spanish flu pandemic. World War II. He mentions another big war following the first one. This is sometimes linked to World War II. The rise of the Internet. Some people think he predicted the Internet, talking about how people around the world would communicate and learn things from books, interpreted as computers or the web. Death of Princess Diana. A poem mentioning a great lady and an accident in a tunnel is sometimes thought to be about the death of Princess Diana in 1997. JFK and RFK assassinations. He talks about two brothers being killed. Some people think this refers to the Kennedy brothers, John F. Kennedy and Robert F. Kennedy. The Great Plague, 16th century. Nostradamus was actually alive during outbreaks of the plague, and some believe he predicted the widespread illness in his writings. The earthquake in Lisbon, 1755. There's mention of an earthquake in a city near a big body of water, and some think it could be about the Lisbon earthquake. Climate change. Some interpretations suggest he talked about dramatic changes in weather, and people connect that to modern-day climate change. Nostradamus was born Michel de Nostradam in December 1503 in Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, a small town in the south of France. He came from a Jewish family that had converted to Christianity, and he was raised as a Catholic. His family was fairly well educated, and he was sent to study at the University of Avignon at a young age. However, the university closed due to an outbreak of the plague, and he had to return home. After that, Nostradamus traveled a lot, studying various subjects like herbal remedies and possibly spending some time in medical school. During his travels, he also studied astrology, which was considered a legitimate field of study at the time. In the 1530s, he settled down and became a physician. He gained some fame for his work in treating plague victims, although his success and methods are a matter of historical debate. In any case, he became known as a skilled doctor and was invited to work in several different cities. In the 1550s, he started focusing more on astrology and prophecy. He wrote an almanac that got a lot of attention, and then he started working on his most famous book, Les Prophecies, the Prophecies. This book is a collection of 942 poetic quatrains that some believe predict future events. The book was published in 1555 and attracted the attention of Catherine de' Medici, the Queen of France. She invited him to Paris and appointed him as a physician in ordinary to her son, King Charles IX of France. Nostradamus died in 1566 in Salon de Provence, France. He was buried in a local church, and his tomb became a site for pilgrimage. His legacy is a mixed bag. Some people think he was a brilliant man who could see the future, while others consider him more of a product of his times, when astrology, alchemy, and other mystical practices were widely accepted. Either way, he remains a fascinating figure who has captivated people's imaginations for centuries. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel for more wisdom and inspiration.